We're live. Ah! Oh my gosh. Gabriella Smith. Hey girl.
Mr. Patrick Duffy, how you doing?
How are you? What's up?
I am well. I am juggling a whole bunch of things like most of us are right now. And, happy to be here talking to you.
Where are you in the world?
I am in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
How's
South
it going
Florida.
down there? How's Florida doing? What's going on? Tell us about what's happening in your world, in your vista.
Well, I've been in quarantine since March 20, I don't know, since like really early in March.
Yep.
And I haven't gone out much.
That's responsible.
We've been very responsible. Yes. I mean, I was very scared. I am still, but I'm less scared now. But at the beginning, I went to the supermarket one day prior to the lockdown, I suppose, and it freaked me out. People were buying, tons and tons of things, and I just had gone, for asparagus and milk or something, and I was like, oh, maybe I should get a couple of more things. And that's when I realized that it was something to take very seriously, and so we did.
Yeah.
So now that I've gone out, and people are taking it seriously. People are very much social distancing, staying in their homes, and going out for our necessities, and that's really it.
And you have a family. You've got little ones that you're taking care of, right?
Yes, we do, and it's a
right?
blessing, and we love them so much.
That's so sweet.
But homeschooling. So homeschooling is no joke. My respects and gratefulness and good vibes to all of you teachers out there. I love you, and please, we really want to go back.
I know,
school.
like when I heard all this homeschooling stuff, I was like, first of all, new respect for mom and new respect for teachers, because I used to terrorize, and then still kind of terrorize my mom. Sharon, she's downstairs, by the way. She's like, ah. I love them. Thank God for them. We have to say yes to parents like you and teachers. So that's amazing. But it must be nice to be able to connect with your family in a new way, right?
Yes, it's actually really nice because you talk to your kids a lot more than you would otherwise. They have a lot of ideas, and I gave my son is 5, and he had to do an Earth Day book. And we did the cover of this book with a cardboard box of a box that came in from Amazon, and he spent an hour and a half playing with this box. I mean, he made a whole movie in our living room about what was happening with the box, and our dog got involved, and it was really cool to see and just like watch his whole brain kind of open up and develop.
Did he upcycle the box into something?
Totally. Oh my gosh, look, I have it right here. Because my living room is also my school and my office. But look how cute.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So he did like a little birthday, little book.
That's beautiful. Can you hold it a little bit closer so people can see?
Sure.
Oh my, and
work.
Up a little bit. Oh my God, that's so great. Oh, that's so cute. That's so sweet.
Yeah, so proud mom moment.
So upcycling. Yeah. So he upcycled, you upcycled. It's a part of your life. So where did this, okay, so Gabriella is the founder of the UpCycle Project and Foundation. She's going to share with us a little bit about what that means. But Gabby, how did this fascination, or where did this interest start with you? It's a very specific thing, and fantastic. So
it is, quite specific and really weird. I'm a regular person that, used to buy a lot of fast fashion and regular things. And I've always had an affinity for food. And I grew up very close to the organic food movement. And I always questioned why we didn't have a place to, buy organic fashion, whatever that meant at the time of the thought. And so, as I grew and developed and, had different work experiences, I worked in beauty for a long time. I started questioning where things went and where they came from, so it's like, oh, I got this shirt. Okay, great. I'm wearing this shirt. Now where does the shirt go after I'm done with it? So, all those questions came up, and I was speaking to my dry cleaners one day, and yeah, it's random. I'm telling you, I like to talk to people.
You do love to talk. That's why I love you.
So I asked him, I was like, Tommy, what do you do with all the clothes that people forget?
Oh, wow.
And he's like, you want it? I mean, do I want it? No, I don't want it. Like,
said, like right out like that, like you want.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it presents a huge real estate problem for small dry cleaners to hold on to your clothes that you forget for a year. After a year, they give it away. So I was like, okay, so let me think about it, and maybe I'll take it from you. So I spoke to a school, so Miami-Dade Fashion School. It's a design school here in Miami, and I said, hey, can I donate 50 to 100 button-down shirts, and we could do an upcycle project with it. And they said, absolutely, why don't you come over? It was like, hey, Tommy, I need those shirts. And it was a very organic start. And what the UpCycle Project is now is really a platform to raise awareness on the waste that the fashion industry creates through upcycle projects, workshops, events, products, and now our textile recycling solution. And it's been really fun.
Yeah, but I know, but was that the intention? I mean, you were just like, I'm going to grab some shirts and take them to school. And now you're like foundation and projects and solutions and working at Soho House. And I mean, it's amazing. Was that the intention?
No, the intention was just to, solve a small problem. And as you solve one problem, you discover another. You're like, oh, well, we should do that then. And then it kept on jumping and growing and until we learned also, like, oh my God, the textile waste problem is really a big issue.
It's a huge issue. Did you learn about that like through the project, or did you just,
Yeah. I mean, I watched The True Cost, and I'm sure a lot of the people, on and you have seen it, of course.
Yep.
When it came out, and it really, it made me question a lot of things. So I think that was a trigger into, the whole sustainability kind of challenge. But then just doing things makes you learn, and you learn as you go. And I love to do and learn, and I'd like to just like dive in and just kind of sink or swim.
Gabby, take us back a little bit but before you do that, I actually was really inspired by our talk tonight. So I upcycled and I turned a lampshade into a hat that I'm going to wear for this next question. It's cute, right?
Yeah, it fits you really well. That would go do so well on the runway.
Thank you.
Visual runway.
Thank you. What did you do before? And how did you, you're leading your life, you're living your life with your passion. How did you go from what you did before to, if you can share, to that? That's a really fascinating story, because I think that's a question that a lot of people ask is, how do I do my passion?
It's funny because I was talking to a group of girlfriends today that are hopefully all in here listening to us.
There better be.
No, we asked like what our highs and our lows were of, this today or this week or whatnot. And one of the things that I said was just like, I stopped being scared. I really just went for it. It's like, look, I'm not going to save the whole world, but I'm going to do this. And I'm not going to care about what, the people that don't believe it, even my dad was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, go back to your corporate job. Like, please, like, what are you doing? And now he's just like, I'm so proud of you. And that you followed through. But you just have to keep on going, and you just have to follow your passion and not question yourself so much. Obviously have a strategy and, have a goal, but, don't get stuck on the fear. We're like, oh, who am I? Who am I to solve this problem? You don't need to be anybody. You just need to want to do it.
Yeah. And one thing kind of leads to the next. So the shirt, like bringing the shirts to the school, probably, did it open your eyes to oh God, well, there's more shirts, or there's more dry cleaners, or there's more this, or there's more waste.
Exactly.
Right? So it's just one thing led to the next, right?
And so I was having a conversation with the founder of EcoAlf, and he's like, so what? So you're just going to like recycle all of the dry cleaning stuff? I'm like, I don't know, but I could, because it's a waste stream,
Yeah.
So I started thinking about the world in waste streams instead of, it's not crazy.
Explain that again as I put my hat back on in a different way.
So, to find solutions, you have to know what problem you're solving. I'm sorry, I can't talk about it seriously.
Sorry, no, it's a very serious thing.
No, but I started thinking about, waste streams. And so if the dry cleaners has a waste stream, what other industries have different waste streams of textile? Just focusing on one type of waste, because if you try to focus on everything, then like forget about it. So that's how I started thinking and educating myself really.
And okay, so now let's fast forward this a little bit because I've been following you and you've been doing such amazing work with your latest project, which is about many different things, but predominantly like pertaining to the COVID crisis.
Yes.
So let's fast forward a little bit. Tell us about that. You're doing masks, but how does upcycling and helping the local community with these masks all play together?
Great question. So as part of our foundation, so we have our project, which started as an LLC, a regular, company, and then we opened a foundation, which is focused on creative circular solutions.
Okay.
Creative circular solutions takes waste and turns it into, something else,
A product.
yarn, etc., a product. So
consumer facing or
industry. So from post-consumer, but focused in an industry. Thank you for yes. It's very important to clarify that.
Yeah.
So we take, for instance, so with the masks, we had a company reach out to us and say, I have 7,500 t-shirts that were printed incorrectly by, the marketing, whoever is UpCycled.
Question.
Yes.
Is that common? Does that happen a lot?
That happens quite a bit. It happens quite a bit, especially when it comes to promotional materials. And promotional materials are things that we don't necessarily value. Remember, it's not a shirt that you buy. So it's the waste always comes from, not always, but a lot of the time the waste comes from things that we don't necessarily value, like things that we get for free, like those t-shirts from the corporate run, or the t-shirts from your friend's bachelor party, and those kinds of t-shirts.
You know what? That's so interesting because that's still considered fashion or part of the fashion, and we don't think about that. That's really interesting. Yeah.
And the fiber, we still had to plant this cotton. We still had to, turn it into yarn and dye it, etc. So the supply chain is really there, and all of the waste that comes along with it, and the pollution that comes with it, is all there.
Yeah.
For something that you're gonna, get for free and not necessarily value.
Yeah.
So we get these shirts, right? I'm not gonna show the logo too much, but it was for a state school. They were having this game, it happens, whatever. It had the wrong date. They call us and they said, we have 7,500
t-shirts printed with the wrong date.
All of them. It was like a marketing nightmare. Honestly, I feel bad for that. The one person that sent the yes email. Yikes.
That's like me. I'm totally dyslexic, so you never want me designing your t-shirts.
But I never even asked. They look perfect. They're brand new. They're totally wearable, and they cannot be anywhere in the States. It's no.
Right. So you. Yeah. Okay.
We took them. We said yes. We picked them up. We put them in storage, and then we were going to send them to the recycling facility that we work with. And of course, the pandemic hits.
So you took these shirts on not knowing what you were really going to do with them, except for bringing them to a recycling facility.
No. We know we have a partnership with the recycling facility because we need to come up with a certain amount of weight to be able to do a loop. Okay. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
And I'll show you that.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're sitting there. We're not sending them anywhere. The world is closed. So I woke up. I remember on Saturday, on March 21st. I'm not gonna forget. I was like, "What are we gonna do with the t-shirts?" And I tell my husband, "It's what are we gonna do with these t-shirts?" I was like, "I don't know, Gabby. Relax."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no, we have to do something."
He's like, "I'm busy quarantining."
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, "Can we just chill out and watch Netflix?" No, we can't. So I called this seamstress that I've been very friendly with since she altered my wedding dress. And Senora Maria, she's amazing, and she works for a beautiful a bridal shop in the Miami Design District. Oh, wow. And I called her up and I said, "Hey, how are you?" on a Saturday, randomly, And she said, "I'm fine. What do you want? Are you okay?
Married again?
You need a dress? What? This is such a weird call." And I told her, I was like, "Do you think that you could make masks out of t-shirts?"
Oh, wow.
And she's like, of course I can make masks, Gabby. Like, you know, she's like, she makes like amazing gowns. And she's like, I can make a mask in no time. So we took a box of t-shirts to her, and then, you know, she made the first mask.
Oh my gosh.
So,
out of these t-shirts.
Yeah, look, it's the same, you know, it's the t-shirts are in here without the logo, which is, you know, we commit to that.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so was she struggling, of course, too, with the COVID crisis? So she was like, not a lot of wedding dresses to alter, or like what was happening? How many problems did this solve?
Well, yeah, there were not very many wedding dresses to alter, unfortunately. So she was suspended from her job. And then a very good girl, lady friend of mine, also who has a fashion line here based out of Miami, who has a production with ladies similar to Maria here in Miami. I called her and I was like, hey, how are your seamstresses doing? And she's like, why are you asking me? Can we do something? And I was like, yes, let's make masks. And she said, yes. So we have a team of 5 ladies that we can pay to be able to, you know, to make these masks. And that's why we sell them, to be able to, you know.
So you mobilized. So basically you saw the components that were kind of out there, people that you knew in your own immediate network, and you put these things together, and now you have created a production line for masks.
Remotely.
That are, yeah.
Without having anybody see each other or like talk to each other.
Oh my gosh. And do you have something you could share with us and show? Could we do a screen share?
Sure. I mean, we could go on our website.
Yeah, show us.
Let me show you.
But this is such a wonderful thing. So how many, as you're plugging us in, how many masks are you making? Oh, great. Yay. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Hi. We've made oh my gosh, we've made around 1,000 masks already.
Okay. It's beautiful.
And so, yeah, so they have a lot of dead stock material. So everything has a sustainability story behind it. We have no new materials. All the materials have been donated to us. So this is, you know, this is basically what this looks like. It comes from the t-shirt. And these are the masks, and they have a little pocket so that you could put your surgical masks in them. That's why a lot of people in the healthcare industry like them, because they could use their approved PPE in, you know, protected by a cloth mask.
Oh wow! So then what do you need to switch out? Like, so then this can then just be laundered in a regular laundry.
Yes, actually, you have to launder them after every use. That's why it's great to have them be cotton, because you know, you just wash them like a t-shirt.
Great. So it's not throwing it away, right?
No. Yes.
Oh, wow. This is so awesome. So then how do you, okay, so dead stock materials, great. And then you're giving new work for these seamstresses. So are there a lot of orders coming in, or how is that, like, how do you generate the interest in the capacity to make the masks? How does that work?
We purchase them in advance. So say that we make an order for 100, you know, at a time, and then as we sell through those, we try to promote online, a lot of word of mouth, etc. You know, and as they sell, we keep ordering. We had there's a group here in Miami that was working with the Miami Beach Police Department and stuff. So they were getting donations. So that we said, you know, like, okay, we can get you masks for this amount, and so they put in a big order of like 600 masks. So that was great. We're hopefully working with other people who want customized masks.
Yeah.
But that becomes a little bit more challenging just because of pricing, and there is no real industry. So it's not like we can just go into a factory and say, like, look, please print this logo on here. You know, it's like, it's really kind of hard times to do things.
So then what's the potential, you know, this isn't the first time that you've done like this UpCycle project. So this is an UpCycle project that is a very specific purpose, which is awesome, because I want to talk to you a little bit more about that purpose, leading with the purpose. But this isn't the first time that you've done something like this. Can you share a little bit more about like what this is rooted in? And by the way, bravo. Really, really, really wonderful, because you really you saw the people around you that needed help and assistance, which were people, medical, or people that needed these masks, and people that were out of work, and the seamstresses. And that's great. Actually, before I get to that question, like, what has this been like for them? Have they felt, because now it's a really, but I'm just going to be super upfront and honest because I'm always like that. Like, I was depressed for about, 2 weeks, like waking up crying, waking up like, what the WTF, what the hell am I going to do? Like, my mother having to peel me out of bed and like
Oh.
throw me in the shower. I know and I think I'm kind of an extreme case. I'm a very sensitive person. But what I learned was it's important to connect with people like you and connect with people like Latin American Fashion Summit, like Estefania and Samantha and the entire team of people that want to make a difference. So, and that has actually helped make me inspired. So to want to do more in my own little way. How has that changed with them, and how has that changed with you?
I think that, in times of crisis and when you're faced with a lot of limitations, brings out the best in you. I feel like the most creative moments comes when you're like stuck in a little box and you're like, I have to get out of this box, and how do we do it? And what resources do I have available to me to be able to do so? And I think that that's what happens. I think that you just have to lead with your heart and make sure that you have a mission in place. For this particular project, our mission is to keep these women employed with a paycheck a week. We can't promise them the 100% of their paycheck, but we can promise them a percentage. And that for me is enough. And honestly, they have been very grateful, and it's been really moving and
Wow.
connecting with people that you wouldn't really connect with otherwise.
So when you say giving them a paycheck or a portion of their paycheck a week, you mean from what they were making from their previous employment?
From their previous employment,
yeah.
Which they will still have, we hope.
Yeah, of course. And then this blossoms potentially into other things. So has any new ideas or new things come to you during this process of new potential solutions or new things?
So right now, honestly, we're really focused on our textile recycling program, where we want to be able to swap out all of your regular cotton t-shirts for recycled and recycled polyester t-shirts. So we want to be able to have that and do that. So prior to, week one of starting this project, I was also like in my bed, with my covers up to here, like not believing all of the projects that have been canceled and all the wonderful opportunities that 2020 was going to bring.
Well, now, you know what I like to say? You swap those opportunities. I call them swap opportunities.
I like that.
Yeah, girl. Swap opportunity. Hashtag swap opportunities. Swap those out for new ones. No, but that's you really kind of have to look at. I mean, I like to look at life that way because then I don't get super depressed. But then it's like, if something's not working or if something comes your way and it's like you have to figure out a new way, that there always is an opportunity in the pile of recycled t-shirts that's been set in front of you. I promise I won't swear.
That's a good way to put it.
I was just super sidebar. I was on a webinar a couple of days ago, or a live with Ursula de Castro, and it's like talking to my sister. So we had a bit of a truck driver. I have a bit of a truck driver mouth left over from that conversation. Love you. By the way, happy Fashion Revolution Week. You're doing such amazing. Yeah, you're kicking booty. So
and as are you, my friend.
You're because this whole thing is inspired by Fashion Revolution and Earth Month. So thank you for being a fashion revolutionary. So you were going to show us a little bit about you had a what was it that you were going to show us? I'm so sorry.
So I want to show you guys. So pre-crisis.
Yeah, what happened? Yes, pre-crisis.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to talk about like what's happening pre-crisis. How can we remain sustainable and still fashionable? And I wanted to share with you a video of a challenge that we did with Paraíso Swim Week last year, where we had 5 student finalists from all over the States. We had Parsons, FIT, Miami International University of Art and Design, as well as Miami Fashion Institute, all participate and also all get mentored by designers that from these global brands. So I want to
let's see the video. I love a video moment.
Am I sharing my screen? Share screen.
Such a great tool.
I know. And Zoom's really behind all of this, I promise.
Gorgeous. So this is all from recycled materials.
And the winner of today's challenge is Hannah Myers.
Oh, that video makes me so happy.
That's great. So what was going on in that video? Were those recycled materials?
So each brand, let me share my screen again with you so that I can show you. Each brand here was donated different materials. Can you see here?
Yep.
So Vitamin A donated dead stock material to a student and mentored her in order to create suits that were in the Vitamin A kind of line, you know?
Yep.
That they have to be aligned. So because if you have, you know, dead stock material, which is essentially waste, and you create something that nobody's going to wear, what do you get? Waste.
Waste,
right?
Waste.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that whatever we create is something that, you know, people are going to resonate with, etc. So these are the kinds of dead stock materials, and this is Hannah, who was sponsored by Cynthia Raleigh and also won $5,000. We had Volcom, and then we also had L-Space provide all of these materials. And I mean, these bathing suit brands are just outrageous, and they have amazing, amazing materials that it's a dream to work with. But aside from that, the mentoring from these designers themselves to these design students was completely priceless.
That's so
So
good.
we were really proud of this.
That's so fantastic. Yeah. So Gabby, then what's next? Like what comes like with all that, what comes post-COVID? What are you thinking?
Well, so we're developing our own line of recycled products. I really, really am adamant about replacing the promotional material virgin cotton. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I'm working really hard on. And we're actually recycling things to make these yarns from our own loops. So the hotel industry is joining the loop. Let me show you a little bit about how that works.
Yeah.
Because I think it's fascinating. Right now we're doing it with school uniforms, and I'm not sharing my screen, am I?
Mm-mm. That's okay. There we go. Now it is. Yep.
So create a circular solution. So you know that the fashion industry is a linear model, correct?
Yep.
So take, make, waste, correct?
Yep.
So now we want to make it circular. And how do we make it circular? We take into consideration the end life of the product, right? So we are able to provide this service to companies to take back their stuff that no longer serves them, for instance. So we focused on 2 different industries at first because we find that the problem is so vast that for a company of our size to tackle the entire thing would be too much. So we focus on school uniforms because it has the education aspect as well.
Cool.
That I think is really, really important. And the generational aspect. So, you know, kids who are wearing school uniforms are very susceptible to what's, you know, happening in their school. So I want them to learn that they can recycle a plastic bottle, but that they can also recycle their t-shirt, you know, and that would probably curb their consumer habits perhaps. So we'll take, you know, the business with the textile waste, we collect it, we sort it, we cut it, and then we downcycle it or upcycling it. Remember how yesterday we were speaking about making it insulation material?
Yeah.
That would be downcycling it into something of lesser value. Cool. But you know, I like to just say it's upcycling because you're reusing it and extending the life of it. So I think that that's what's really important. And then we make it into a textile or a product, and then it re-enters the market as a blanket for a refugee, or, you know, a t-shirt for your music festival that's coming up, you know. Yep. And then we can take it back. So when you're done with that t-shirt, then we can take it back again and put it through the loop. And I think that that's what's really kind of fun.
That's awesome. So where do you see this in, like, how do you onboard a school?
You knock on the door and
They
you're
just call
persistent.
you?
So of course I started with my son's school. It's like, hey,
Hey,
hi,
girl.
can I take your old uniforms? And they're like,
Yeah.
and it's pretty funny. No, so yeah, you call them, you present the program to them, and it's free. You know, we give them boxes and we take it. We do the whole delivery ourselves and pick up and everything. So, you know, why not? So
So
it's a logistics program.
it's a logistics program, but so beyond school uniforms, could you do this with other? I remember we were talking about hotels, and can you do it with the? Are there other opportunities there for you to work in different areas? Is that of interest to you, or?
Absolutely. So the hotel industry, for instance, is a big one for us, because it's just a part of their business model. You know, they go through their linens. They can't, you know, dress the beds with ripped linens or dirty towels. You know, it's something that is continuously, I guess, wasted.
Yeah, the high turnover.
That's the word I was looking for.
And I don't think people really consider that, but imagine, let's look at just New York City alone. How many hotels there are? I think there's something like, gosh, I'm probably super way off, but I think like 60,000 hotel rooms in New York City. I could be wrong. I know there's a lot. But imagine just, let's say 60,000 hotel rooms times changing it pretty much every night, almost every single night. And I think I used to work in hotels, you have to have per room at least 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 sets per room on rotation. So like there's just massive amounts of sheets and massive amounts of towels. And people don't think about that. And so what could you do with sheets, linens, and towels from hotels?
We can, well, actually we've made them into dresses. Yeah.
I want one.
It's really funny. I was in Costa Rica Fashion Week, and I wore a dress made out of sheets that a very talented student made. And in my mind, you know, I was like, I'm wearing a sheet dress. I'm wearing sheets. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm crazy, you know. And then I came out of my room and I asked a designer friend that was there, and I was like, does this look strange to you? And he's just like, no. Like, what's wrong with you? I was like, oh, well, this is made of sheets. Do you know that?
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, cool. So like, he didn't really think very much of it. And I was just like, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But you could do a lot of things with sheets because of the type of material that they are. And you can mechanically recycle them back into fiber and back into yarn. So that would be the goal.
Are typically sheets usually like, because I know, are typically sheets usually 100% cotton, or are they cotton polyester?
They could be cotton blends, but usually if they're good sheets, they're 100% cotton.
Yeah, no, it's really.
Or who knows, like satin or silk. I mean, it depends on your sheet, but we're looking for cotton sheets. We're not looking for like super fancy ones.
Really interesting. I mean, when you think about it, it's really just like, it is a textile, and it's a big, massive square, right? Or it's a big.
You could replace calico with it, like for design students, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's actually a really great idea too. So connecting it back to schools. So bringing that's so cool.
But I mean, it's just like, it's logistics. It's a lot of logistics. So that's why we applied for a nonprofit, so we could actually, you know, get all of this to work, because the bottom line isn't there, because the logistics of shipping this stuff around the world or to and from is too expensive.
Yeah.
For the end product, you know, like the yarn is it's going to be such a premium yarn if you were to add all of the cost of the supply chain into that yarn.
So then, okay, let's talk about business model. Let's talk about, serious. Let's talk about business model. Let's talk about, how do you make this work? Like how does a business model like this work? And, you know, we're throwing these terms around like logistics and but like, how do you build this, and how do you construct something like this? And maybe you just share from your example, from your experience.
Right. So exactly. So hopefully, I mean, we are doing our beta loop right now. We know that it is possible. There's companies around the world that are recycling textile, but they're not recycling textile by solving a waste problem. They're just absorbing different fibers from post-industrial waste, right? So from our perspective, we are a nonprofit because, yes.
Can you pause? Okay, to the people like me who may not know what that means, what is post-industrial waste?
Post-industrial is your t-shirt manufacturing, like H&M has their their manufacturing facility has waste right off the bat. You know, like when the t-shirt gets cut and that little trim, that is waste.
Okay.
So that's industrial. Yes.
And people don't realize that there's tons and tons and tons of that, right?
Yes, and then it gets burnt.
Like, what is it? I think the statistics about 15% of design before it actually gets designed actually goes to waste. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, there's like around 25 billion pounds of textile waste that go into the landfill every year. Just in the U.S. alone.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it's crazy. It's like 70 pounds per person. I mean, it's crazy. Like we really just waste a lot of textiles.
Yeah.
That
So
take a lot of resources to make.
I know. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pause, but I just like to define things for
Yes,
as we're kind of.
thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So so you were talking about the business model and the logistics and how you were constructing all
Right.
that.
So our first loop is obviously it's self-funded, and what we have to make sure that we do is that we collect the fabrics from the place, we sort it, we cut it, and all of those things, every single spot on the loop has a cost, right? And that's why if it's nonprofit, we could actually obtain different grants and different things to be able to solve the textile waste problem, which is really the mission, and then be able to come out the other side and say like, look, this t-shirt is from recycled materials from this loop. So that's really the big idea.
Wow. So then okay, and that's so awesome too, because then you get to tell the story that goes along with that. How cool.
Right. So it would be amazing if I would tell you that this t-shirt was made out of, you know, a specific hotel's waste.
Right.
Right? So this is, you know, I don't know, pick your hotel. What's your favorite hotel?
Howard Johnson.
All right, the Howard Johnsons of the world. All of the Howard Johnsons come together and we can make the Howard Johnson t-shirts.
The Hojo. The Hojo.
No, but you know, like, I mean, there's so much waste out there. And I feel like there's going to be a lot more companies that are going to tackle this problem. And there is enough waste for everybody to go ahead and do that. Yeah. So I'm happy to share.
I mean, hospitality industry, not just hotels, gyms, like these high-end luxury gyms.
The towels.
I mean, I've seen, I'm not going to name the names of some of these high-end gyms, but I've seen them just throw these towels in the bins. Yeah. And if I'm seeing that must be happening a lot across a lot of them. And that's just appalling. So the hospitality industry in you know, there's restaurants too, throwing out table linens, napkins, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Wow. Something that you don't really think about, because when you think fabric and you say fashion and textiles, we're kind of trained to only think in one particular.
Exactly. That's when I was talking to Leo that you were speaking to yesterday too. He was like, Gabby, you're not a fashion company. You're a waste management company. Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't know. I am still a fashion company. Thank you very much. I mean, that's kind of the harsh reality of it.
I know. I'm the same thing too. I'm like, I manage trash for a living. Like we're trash. We're talking trash right now. That's
exactly. Don't be trashy. Don't be trashy.
Actually, I think trash is really good. There's actually somebody who I was talking to before I got on the phone with you. I'm going to connect you to, called Rachel Kitty. She used to work with textile recycling. So Rachel, if you're watching, high fives. I'm going to connect you to Gabby. And we talk a lot about waste and trash and recycling and upcycling. And it's so important. And also too, like, something that people don't think about and brands is, like, you know, they can actually get involved in the re-commercing process with you, right? So like,
absolutely,
you know, like not understanding that they're potentially sitting on a pile of cash.
Totally.
Right?
You know, it's like trash is the mines of the future, you know, whether it's textile, metals, you know, or plastic, you know, everything that we have to look at as a resource. And that's why our mission is to create a more resourceful world. And I have to like say that word a lot to like get through it, but resources, like using the resources that are available to us.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
So I'm getting a question here from Marcy Galejo. Hello. Hi, Marcy. Quick question. Besides donating, giving away your old used clothes, what are other best options to properly recycle clothing? There's a couple options. Do you want to?
So besides donating, giving away your used clothes, what are other options to have it recycled? Give it to people that you feel that need it, you know, firsthand. I feel like that's always really important. And for me, the secondhand clothing market gives me gives me a lot of anxiety just because I feel like it's like pushing one from one landfill to the other. So I don't have a solution for you at this time, you know, other than just donating it and upcycling it, mending it, swapping it, you know, just extending that life of the clothes.
Yeah. Let's actually, can we touch on that for a sec? Because there's a lot of people that don't understand that still. They think that they can just take the crap in their closet and empty out and just give it to a charity shop and be like, oh, I saved the world. That's actually not true. I'm sorry. It's not, girl. It's not. Let's just unpack this for a minute and not give it to a charity shop. No, the point is, we're not saying that charity shops are bad, but what you just said, from one landfill to a next.
Yes.
What happens to clothing when it sits in a charity shop for too long and they can't sell it?
They sell it. They actually sell it to another broker by the pound. And it's really unfortunate. I've seen it firsthand. I've worked with the Goodwill very closely. I have a lot of respect for them and their mission. But, you know, we are just buying too much clothes. There is an overconsumption of clothing, and overconsumption equals waste, no matter where it wastes, where it goes into waste, if that's clear.
Yeah.
So, you know, you may give it to the Goodwill here, or your, you know, pick your donation, you know, charity. Even Housing Works in New York, I think, has a great mission too. You know, like all of these places have great missions, but if they get too much stuff, what are they going to do with it? They have to broker it out. And that goes into a developing country, and that goes into someone else's landfill, because honestly, developing countries are flooded with our stuff.
Yeah.
Our crappy t-shirts that nobody wants.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and not just t-shirts, but I mean, like, you're right. Developing countries, like a lot of places in Latin America, are just seas of textile waste, pre and post. Ghana is swimming in UK's textile. I mean, like, we're talking. If you see some of the photographs and some of our partners share with us at GFX, it just blows your mind. It absolutely blows your mind. And you're right. It's not just about the overconsumption. It's about the overproduction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a picture of Haiti when I went to Haiti.
Too. Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's
crazy.
It was such a shock, and I don't know where it is. But
And as we're talking about this, just so people can understand why it's so bad just to throw stuff away and not even without thinking about it, because clothing is made up of many times, you know, polyester or many different types of ingredients or materials. Oftentimes those things don't break down in a way that's good for the environment, because it's not 100% pure cotton or 100% pure hemp. So if you're throwing tons and tons of t-shirts and, you know, tops and bottoms and pieces into a waste stream or into a waterway, that those microparticles from those polyesters and those essentially plastics go into the water.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Actually, I have a really fun video that I could share. That's from the proper stuff.
Yeah.
That I could share that if we have time. But
yeah.
But look at this picture. I took these pictures myself in Haiti.
Wow.
And this is a secondary clothing market in a developing nation and the picture here on the right was really one that struck me, because you see a marketplace that has clothing that it was purchased by the pound, and it's mixed with food and fire and garbage and all sorts of things. So this is not where you want your clothing to end up. And this is unfortunately where it does. And see, like you mentioned, Patrick, Uganda, Haiti, India, you know, it shouldn't have to be, and very soon may have to choose to be responsible for our excess. So our consumption, we have to be very responsible for what we consume.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
So sad. It is so sad. And then that also then, you know, again, so people can really have an understanding of the impact. Like the flooding of all of that clothing from the secondhand industries here in, you know, United States into those markets then decimates their chances to even having their own clothing industry, because all of that comes in, and then they just are forced to kind of dealing with our crap, right?
Exactly. And it's not fair, honestly. Look, to your point, like how long this is from the fashion revolution assets that they put up. How long does it take to have clothes decompose in a landfill? And denim jacket, 10 to 12 months, nylon tights, sorry, I can't see anything, 30 to 40 years, lycra and sports clothing that's, plastic and polyester based, takes 20 to 200 years, and your merino wool 9 months, which is a natural fabric, and denim is cotton, so it's a natural fabric too. So this is all kind of part of the workshops that we do.
Yep.
And we know.
Amazing. And the thing is, and let's even just go a little bit deeper in on those. Let's just say that that's a denim jacket that's dyed with natural dyes. Many of them are not, so like, again, like what's so great about you guys, what Gabriella does with her workshops is she really teaches you the nuances of everything and really opens your eyes, because for so long the fashion industry has kind of covered it up and shrouded us with the beauty and the glamour, which is great, but then we forget about where things come from, how things are made, the impact and all that kind of stuff. So I have to give my hands off to you for really doing that, and then you do it in a fun and interesting and engaging way too. So that's really exciting and great for people to engage in that. So question here, any idea of how long it takes for leather? That's a good question. Any idea?
Really good question. I'm not too sure, because it depends, again, like you mentioned, on the dyes and the dyeing process and what it's stuck to too, because leather, we don't usually wear leather alone unless maybe it's a leather jacket. If it's a purse that maybe stuck into something else and we don't really know what that is. So, and honestly, I don't know, to tell you the truth. I would be lying. So I'd rather.
Well, we can connect on that. We can blue merino leather. Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, maybe you should. Maybe we should
do some investigating on that. We'll do some investigating on. So, Gabby, this has been so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. What can we look forward to with the mask project? Are there any exciting pieces of content or stories that you're going to be able to share with us? I know we talked a little bit about that today. Exciting.
I mean, we're what did we talk about? I don't know. I feel
lots of stuff. That's okay. I was just curious if you had anything, like, I know you're always brewing something, so I'm just a little taste.
No, I mean, honestly, with the mask project, somebody asked me today, they're like, oh, how long do you think this is gonna be for? And
you mean COVID?
Just the masks. Oh. They're like, oh, how many masks are you gonna make? And I just answered, I was like, you know what, I don't know. As long as we need to make them, then we will, and hopefully we can change up the styles a little bit and have people, because now it's becoming a fashion thing. People, we have the flower ones and people want the flower ones better than the gray ones, and people want to kind of match it. And so I don't know if this is going to be the new accessory, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But we're not sure. We're just trying to kind of make it work.
You're making it work beautifully. And you know what? Keep the eyes and ears open like you've been doing this entire time, and maybe a new opportunity or a new way to help solve an issue like masks might come about. What I love about you, Gabby, is that you always are just so open to everything that's around you, and you make magic out of molehills, as my dad used to say. Yes. Well, thank you so much. If there's anything else you wanted to share that maybe we didn't touch on?
No, just maybe thank you to Estefania and Sam and the LAFS team. And I hope that we can all see each other in person and give each other a big, big hug, and, just all be in the same place at once.
Very soon.
I think that would be powerful.
As we leave, I would love for you just to give everybody watching a couple tips. Like, what are your top tips for not polluting and recycling, what are your top tips for keeping the situation?
So you know what, I want to keep it, because I don't want to be a waste management company. I still believe that our fashion habits have a lot to do with waste. I'm going to give you guys a fashion tips on how to buy. First of all, before you buy anything, think about what you already have. Do an inventory of your closet. Don't forget of all of the pieces that are just stuck there that you may not want. If you don't want them, donate them, swap them, give it to another friend, put them up for rent. There are so many different outlets right now that you can use to dispose of your clothing responsibly. But before you buy anything new, right now that there's so many sales going on, because of course the fashion industry is going through a dramatic change. Try to buy the things that you really need. think about what you're going to wear. Are you going to wear it 30 times? Ask, where does your clothes come from? Where is it going to end? Is this a trendy piece? Is this a basic? Is this something that's truly aligned with my values? You know, there's a lot of questions that you're going to need to ask before you buy another piece of clothing. Vintage is always better. Secondhand is always better. Recycled materials are always better. And just, you know, just really buy what you need. We've all been stuck in our homes for almost more than a month now.
Yeah.
We know that we don't need so much to survive.
Yeah.
We know.
That's a very good point. Yes.
Yeah, like we have a closet full of clothes and nowhere to go. You know, it's so crazy.
I'm wearing the same black t-shirt for like all week long.
Exactly. So, you know, so really be true to yourself and know that you don't need another dress, you know, just value it. And when you buy it, value it, wear it forever, and pass it down, you know, either to your friends, to your peers, etc.
Actually, like, hang on. I'm not going to let you go just yet. I'm not going to let you go just yet. Because this is the thing. Fashion industry is an industry. And I think this is important to touch on because there are many, many designers out there that make their living, right? And there are many designers that don't subscribe to this whole fast fashion nightmare. Mm-hmm. But they do things with a lot of integrity. So you're not saying stop buying.
No, I'm saying buy correctly. Buy ethically made clothes. Buy sustainably made. Buy sustainably made. So ethically made and sustainably sourced, right? Find out where your stuff comes from. Who made it? Ask the brands. Everybody's hyper connected. So if you don't know where they made it, just ask them. Be like, hey, Farm Rio, that I had like this whole thing with them because like I bought a piece from their collection and it was made in China and I thought it was made in Brazil and I wrote them and talked to their PR department. It was pretty intense. I understand not a lot of people are going to go through the trouble of like, because I really felt duped, you know, it's like, come on, you know, I'm thinking this is like ethically made in Brazil and it's made in China. What the heck is going on?
Yep.
So they were very pleased to answer and they gave me their whole auditing schedule of their Chinese manufacturing plants. And, you know, it was a learning opportunity for me. So
awesome.
Support small brands, support the designers that you know, make beautiful things that are well crafted and that will make you look and feel fantastic.
That's a great note to leave on because many of those designers are a part of LAFS, which is one of the reasons why I love LAFS so much. So thank you so much. And great note to leave on. So inspiring. Everybody get a mask for yourself and one for your friend and let's support Gabby. You sent one to my mom. She loves it.
Sharon, we love you.
I know. Everybody peep my Instagram. I'm going to put my mom on my Instagram tonight and Gabby's mask, okay? All right, I'm going to get some too. All right, much love. Thank you so much. I hope to give you a big squeeze in person sometime.
Me too.
Okay.
Big virtual hugs to everybody.
Okay, bye, hon. Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye, loves.
Bye, guys.